Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Tuesday, December the 3rd, 2024. Well, the markets did, at least the NASDAQ, and somewhat over in the S&P as well, did kind of continue to move up today, but it was the NASDAQ that really kind of caught that undercurrent of upside move and finished today nicely higher and is now getting ready to approach the all-time high, which sits at, in the basis of future, to 21,340.75. And we're just right underneath all of that, with the high today coming in at 21,329 and basically just trading right underneath that. So starting here on the NASDAQ, I'm on the hourly chart. And there's wave 3, minute, and there's wave 4, minute. And I'm now, so you'll notice I've taken off a lot of the alternates. But I'm primarily based on the strength that we saw today. Now that strength may disappear tomorrow. So I need to keep both the alternate and the preferred in mind. I'm showing the preferred, and that does, so I've taken everything off that this is going to be the A and that we're in a B wave. That's not out of the picture just yet. And the reason is because we've not broken above this high. And even if we do, and this is still going to be considered an ABC coming up, right? This would be A, B, and 1, 2, 3, where we ever finish in a 4 and a 5, we still could be within that irregular territory, which would push this market up even higher before, we would get a huge C wave down. And not a huge C wave, but a C wave that would bring us back towards 20,000, what is that low? 20,382. So, but right now, I'm thinking that we may going to continue the rally. So that means minute wave 4, and which then inside of that, finishing, minute wave 4 is complete. We're in minute wave 5 to complete minor wave 5 and then intermediate wave 3. So again, that part of my larger picture has not changed. And so I still think we have upside. We're going to reach that high. And as what everybody's talking about now, yep, the markets are getting ready to correct. Yep, the markets are going to correct, and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, yeah, we're finishing intermediate wave 3. We're going to come down to intermediate wave 4. We're going to end up back towards the August 2024 lows. And then we're going to race up again. So, but it's going to take some time to get this all unwound. You're going to see how much time is now kind of going by as we just get through this minor fifth wave. And I can just pull it out real quick to that 4-hour chart, and you're going to see there's minor 4. This is all minor 5. So since August of 2024, and actually the beginning of August, this was August the 5th. So at the beginning of August, we are still within this minor fifth wave. We're getting closer, right? If we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 down, we're getting closer. And I leave these up because it still could possibly be that we're going to come up in an ABC, and it is going to be somewhat of a diagonal. Now, if we're going to call that 4, I can switch this around. Let me just say that I can go like this and put this up there. And you can see now we've got a diagonal going. So we still are within, we are still within the minor fifth wave, but now we've not necessarily resurrected, but we're opening up that potential, right? 3, 3, 3, 3, and then this will be a 3 instead of a big, a solid 5. It's still going to be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's going to be all 3 waves. Bringing it back down to the hourly. So what we got going on here is the possibility that here is the ABC 1. This gets moved up. 2, this gets moved down, right? This gets moved up. And now we're in wave 3. And we're finishing it up. And then we still have the possibility. So even if I rearrange this, if I'm going to really consider working this out as the finishing, that does cover us a multitude of what I've said is really presenting problems, and that everything's unfolding in threes. So I think that, yeah, I can come up and that's an A, B. So it's, all a part of wave one. And I move this one up to here, and this is wave two. I move that up to here. And then we're in to this third wave. And then we have an A, B, and we're into that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how high can that 5 get? Well, if we're just counting it from here and to this 5, so we got the A, the B, and the C, right? So that's a 5 small, that's a 3, and here we have the 5, and that's just going to be wave 3. Minuet wave 3 of minute wave 5 of minor wave 5. And we're looking at the whole minor 5 being an ABC. So that could be the ticket, and that may work. So we have the first 3, and that's wave 1, second 3, wave 2, third ABC, wave 3. In fact, I'll tell you the truth, that is pretty much what I am going to do. So I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to take this off. You get to do it right when I'm here, guys. It's sunny when the lights do go on, right? So I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to stick this over there. And now I am going to make sure that this also is a fifth within, it's a fifth with diagonal inside of the larger 5 diagonal. And that, not that I'm covering a multitude of sins, but I'm just using that as an expression because it's been very difficult. There's like a bunch of threes all over the place. It's like, oh, what the heck is going on? And it'll make more sense. So I'll be able to draw my trend lines once I get that, and that's going to get us into that a little bit more. Now, I'm just going to take a look at putting some additional fibs in for this third wave to see what we come up with. So we're just reaching the 100%. Now, does this not? Now, in terms of Fibonacci, wave 3 getting up to 21,373. Wow, okay, starts to make a lot more sense. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling down, so that 3, actually, I'm going to bring it down. And let's kind of leave it there. We can have a little bit more room, but 1.618 is up here at 21,805. And I'm not necessarily looking for that out of this move. Can't say it won't happen, but it's not necessarily what I'm going to be looking for. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to change the color on this one and this one. And I'm not necessarily going to show that 2.618 just yet because I'm looking for it a little bit differently. 1.618, I think I'll leave in as a possibility. Now, one other that we have here that may actually come in play, and I'm going to put it back on. Because initially I thought, no, I just didn't think it was going to be that. And I thought it was going to be more a little bit different on the way up. So I want to add this guy one more time. And that sits right there at 21,665. So again, if we're just following our diagonal up here, and then I'm going to draw another one, and we could be a diagonal one and then a diagonal, but as long as it all finishes, and then we just got a doubling up. So it's a minor wave 5 diagonal, and it could be a minute wave 5 diagonal. And that's actually how I'm looking at it right now. So we're looking for this finishing of wave 3. Our first resistance is 21,373. Initially, we did reach up. Now that would be good, and I'll tell you why. This high is what I'm looking to break, 21,340, 341. This would do that cleanly, not leave me hanging here. Get this A, B, and then, or just however we want to count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the C, and then it's going to be the 3. So we'll look for a little bit more upside. Now, what if it surpasses it? I will go inside here and go on where I think we could come in. Now, but I do think we're getting close to where we should pull back in either a smaller internal or just this minuet fourth wave coming down. And then we're on our way to that wave 5. So again, I know I'm going to talk about this often, but we're closer. We're closer to this finish line. And here we are now into December. And again, when I reference all of my seasonal charts, that talk, that look at the NASDAQ as an index, that look at the S&P as an index, they're all just pointing very hard up to the first to second week of December. Well, here we are in this first week. And so next, second week, it all begins to fit very cleanly to where we can start to look for this top, look for that intermediate third wave, and then beginning to do the intermediate fourth wave correction. And that, I think, takes us into the new year. We might have this rally taking us to the end of this year. And then we start up at those highs. That's also a strong possibility. And then we spend a great part of 2025 just putting in intermediate wave 4. And then we have an intermediate fifth wave. So obviously there's going to be something that's going to produce a nice run up on an intermediate degree. So far we've been dealing with, minors. So this will be intermediate. We are in that intermediate third, and that's the one that began in December of 2022. So again, we're 2 years into this intermediate third. All right, so let's lay it out one more time. So we've got the 4. I'm going to leave that in place. I'm basically taking the alternates. They're there, but they're back up on the shelf. So I'm not showing them, but we're not out of the woods just yet. If we get up here and we start making a new high above 21,340, it's going to be great for the preferred count. Now we're going to be able to put a 3 here. I'll start drawing my trend lines, look for a 4. We'll put a trend line down here, and then we're going to start to really just see where this all is going to angle in and get us up, likely up into this area. So this still, right? That's the minor, and here's the intermediate. That's a nice little cluster. And granted, we still have much higher, but it might be in a different degree. So right now, this continues to be where I think we should get to. And that's all pretty high. All right, let's take a quick look at I'm sure that the moving averages. And I usually use the daily to go in and take a look. Yeah, they're all still pretty good. In fact, the 8's doing real well. And you can see on our daily, not the biggest of bars, but still green, 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 green. So it's all sitting good. And then we get a nice little red in for wave 4, and then we get up there and finish this all off. All right, let's move this back down to the hour. Let's go over and take a look at the S&P, and let me get this thing on the road. I'm a little bit behind, but I don't know if you guys can hear it. I have a noise canceling microphone, but I'm having tree work and gardening done in my yards to prepare for a lot of things. And so I've had that noise all day. All right, over here in the S&P, I cannot take down all our alternate work that we've been doing, like the fib levels for the irregular minuet B of minute 4. So that would be, this is A, and this is all a B, and we come back down to here before we take off. I don't think it can do it on its own without the NASDAQ also performing the same thing. So I start to give it a little bit less potential to do so, because this would be A, B, and here we'd have 1, 2, and we're still coming up in a third. And here we have the same, where that wave 3 measures out 1.618 at 6,073. You can let it go to 75, you can let it go to 80, and it still all would fit. Now, let me open this up, bring it down, and then open it up this way, because we want to go in and we want to take a look at what this all looks like. If we're here, we got the 1, we got a 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what kind of starts to throw it off. But I think we are getting close to putting it together and putting it in. Let me go move down to that 15-minute. Take a look how beauteous. Very, very nice. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We finish this up 6,074, 75. All the way up, I go at 83, 85. It could get up that high. Because right now, We're almost at 70. So, yeah, this is good. This is good that it's all finally coming together. Let me bring it back out to that hourly chart and let's bring it into the picture. So I cannot take these out just yet. This wave could run us up to 61 or 61.30 and then fulfill this irregular. And I will tomorrow, I promise, I'll put back those fibs so we have an idea in the NASDAQ of where they are. But if we get up here and we go running through this tomorrow or overnight and we start heading for this, then we got these and we have that. Then you would be of minute wave 4. So this would be A, B, C, and we'd be looking for it to drop back again between 58.50 and 58.20. And they probably could do it very quickly. That would be the other thing. And then we rally again. Now, the other thing that kind of can fit in here, right? And if this is what the case is, then maybe we do run to the end of the year in this type of a finishing minute 4, but here on this degree, and then we run back up in the minute 5th wave to start the new year, and then reach that high for intermediate wave 3. That's also another scenario that's still kind of sitting out there as a possibility. So we'll leave that alone. And as I said, when I was in the NASDAQ, I took it off the chart because I don't want to make a confusing picture. This one's not as confusing. It makes more sense when I lay it out. But the other one, it was getting a little bit complicated in terms of what was going on. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it's still possible. So that what happens is we get up into that irregular, we come back down to around these lows a little bit, and here's the fibs that go along with the 4th. They stay alive, and then we go up again. So that would be by minute 4, still within the minor 5. Minute wave 4 of minor 5, we go up in a minute wave 5 of minor 5, and that's the one that maybe we finish the year or we start the new year doing that. And then we reach that other level and we start to come down dramatically in an intermediate 4. So both scenarios still sitting out there. We wait for the market's response. All right, so that's going to be it for today. Now, let's take a quick look at what do we got coming out economically tomorrow. We have ADP Employment. We have the S&P Final U.S. Services PMI, ISM Services, factory orders, and the Fed Beige Book. All right, Jerome Powell's out speaking somewhere tomorrow, but that's until 1:40 p.m. And then we have we have St. Louis Fed, we got the Richmond Fed, and we got the San Francisco Fed. Everybody's out talking, giving their opinions on, gee, what we may or may not do in that December meeting, and gee, what we're looking for next year. So that part's going on. But this week is employment numbers. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow. And the next update will be on Wednesday, December the 4th.